Hey guys, so today I did this makeup look for you. It's really simple, really easy to do. I had helped some of my friends pick out makeup over the week, so kind of wanted to just help them learn how to use it a little bit more. This is really simple, nothing extreme. So I hope you guys like it. So I usually put makeup on after I wash my face, and I always put lotion on even though I have really oily skin, because sometimes I will have like dry patches. And I use this lotion from Mary Kay. It's the Velocity Light Moisturizer, and I'm really oily and it doesn't make me more oily. It just helps with my dry patches. Then I'm going to go in with my Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation in Ivory Nude, and I'll just put that on the back of my hand. So some people like to put dots on their face, but I feel like if I do that I get too much product on there and I can't get it off. So I'll put like a little bit on the back of my hand, and then I'll go in with this brush. Is the one I'm using now. I used to use my Beauty Blender or my Real Technique sponge, and then I feel like it used to like take product from my face and I wouldn't get as much coverage as I wanted. And sometimes I like that, but because I've been using the Clarisonic, I've been breaking out a lot. So I really want more coverage. So if you want more coverage, definitely do this. The sponge, you'd get less coverage in my opinion. So I am using this brush right now. It's from Real Techniques. It is their buffing brush. Right now I did just order a Sigma brush. So hopefully that comes in, and that one is completely flat on the top and it's a little bigger than this one. But I just take this and I'll just like take some product off to the side. Like I won't dip it in there so I don't have like a lot on my brush. And then I'll just dab it. And I actually just got this foundation and it's not my exact color because they didn't have my color. So we're just gonna work with it. It's a little too yellow, but we'll get it. So I'll just like dab it around. In the places that I have my dry spots, I won't go around in circles, but out here I will like blend it out. I usually get dry spots right here and like around my mouth. So usually just dab it and then I'll like blend it out onto my neck in circular motions. And then I'll just go back in, take a little bit more off to the side. Don't want a lot on my brush. And then I'll just dab it again. And I usually start in the middle of my face and then work it out. Especially since this isn't my exact color. It's better to work it in the middle of your face and then blend it out. And then there won't be any like harsh lines on the side of your face or on your neck. On my forehead, I don't really get dry patches, so I always just go in circular motions. Just spread the product around. I like to dab it a little bit, like right here where I'm breaking out. I'll dab it because that gives you more coverage if you dab. And make sure that you're blending onto your neck, but also like a little bit behind your ear. So that if you're like wearing a ponytail, and if you're, especially if your foundation doesn't match exactly, so there's not like a line right here, it kind of like blends out. And then I'll just take any extra product I have. And if I have too much, I'll just go back in with this and like scoop it up. But if I just have some, I'll just, like right here I have a breakout, I'll just like go over it to cover it up a little bit more. What I like about this foundation is very buildable. And I feel like whenever I used my Beauty Blender or my Real Technique sponge, I definitely didn't get as much coverage and I couldn't really build it up. So, and then I'll just take I'll just go on my hand and grab whatever's left and just really get it on my neck. Then usually I'd go in with my MAC Pro Longwear, but I'm also making this video to help some people out that I helped pick out makeup, and this is the concealer I had them get because this is the best drugstore concealer in my opinion. It is the Rimmel London Match Perfection, and I got it in Fair. I always get it a little lighter than my skin so that I can also highlight with it. So what I'm going to do is, it just is a brush, and you're just going to squeeze out the product. So what I'm going to do with this is you can either put it on the back of your hand if you're afraid you're going to use too much, but usually I just go right here, a couple dots right there, and a couple dots on this side. And this side I had more product, so I didn't need as many dots, but, and then I'll do a line down my nose. And then I'll usually highlight my cupid's bow right here. And then I'll just put like an X up here. And then, let's see. When I blend this out, don't be afraid to get like a lot of product here. Like, it's gonna look ridiculous at first, but once you blend it out, it'll look fine. But if you don't put enough, you're not gonna cover anything up. So you can either blend it out like that, which is what some normal people do, and then they'll just blend that out. I also like to highlight, so I'll come down my side of my nose like this, and then come up like in a triangle. And I'll take whatever's left on my finger from that, and I'll just go right over my eyelid. This will help prime for any eyeshadow if you don't have like an eyeshadow primer that you're going to use. So then I'll do this side. And a little bit more on that side. And then we'll come down our nose and then up so it makes a good triangle. And then I'll just go in with my foundation brush so that it like blends in with the color of my foundation, and I'll just dab right on top of that. I used to go in with my beauty blender, and I feel like it took a lot of the product away from my eyes and actually took away the product and made my dark circles more noticeable. Now, if you still notice, I still have a little bit of darkness right here. I'll just literally go in, put a dot right there, dot right there, because this concealer is really buildable. And I'll just put a little bit more on my nose because I had extra on that. So I'll just dab really, really lightly, like I'm barely touching my skin. This will help so that we're not taking any of it on our finger. It's just giving you a little bit more coverage there if you have really dark circles. Mine are from allergies, so that's why they're there. And then we'll just really lightly tap our nose to make sure that highlight is really there. And I'll just take any excess and just put it on my cupid's bow again. Okay. And then if you, because I still have foundation on the back of my hand, if you had put your concealer there, which if you put your concealer on the back of your hand, you would just squirt it there and then just take some on your finger and then dab it that way. Then the powder that some people picked out whenever I helped them pick out makeup was this CoverGirl powder. What I like about it is it's a translucent colored powder foundation, so it's not going to give you a lot more coverage, and it's not going to have like a color that's going to change the look of your face. It is like a translucent colored powder foundation. I don't know if I described that perfectly well, but that's what it is. So I always like to set any liquid I put on my face. This way it'll last longer, and since I have oily skin, it won't look oily. If you have really dry skin, you don't really have to set your liquid foundation because it's just going to stay there. For people with oily skin like me, or like even normal skin, their foundation will move and it will slowly go away during the day. I like to set my under eyes and anywhere I highlighted with a different powder.
You can definitely set that.
I like to set my under eyes and anywhere I highlighted with a different powder. You can definitely go ahead and use that powder if you want to. I just don't think it helps highlight as much as I would like it to, and I like using the Anastasia contour kit to help set my under eyes. So I'll take the banana shade first and I'll just dab that underneath my eyes, and then I'll mix the banana shade and this shade and I'll just go all over under my eyes again. And then I'll just take that shade, not the banana shade, and I'll set everywhere else that I highlighted. Then I'm just going to take this e.l.f. Golden Bronze and a big fluffy brush. And this has 4 colors in it. And we're just going to mix it all together and then tap off the excess. And this is where you're supposed to contour, like right here. So we're going to try not to go below that. And I'm not going to, because this is where my blush goes, I'm not going to bring this past here. I think this helps bronze and also highlight the face, since it does have more colors in it than just the brown color. So this can be used sort of as a duo. And then if you wanted, you could always go in with this light white shade and highlight. Then I'm just going to go in with some blush, and this one's the one from Wet n Wild that I always use. Tap off excess and go right here, and then blend it back into the bronzer that we did. And I'm just going to do something really simple with my eyes, and I'm going to take this really light brown color from the Ulta brand, and all I'm going to do is go into my crease with this, and I'm not going to put any other eyeshadow on. This is really simple, really easy to do. First I go in the windshield wiper motions, then I'll do circular motions to smoke it out just a little bit. And you can see how this one has more dimension to it than this one, and that's all I'm doing to it. So I'll just do it to the other side. Then for your eyebrows, if you want to do something really, really simple, you could just go in with the Maybelline Brow Drama. And this is just a brush, and you would just brush it through your eyebrows. Usually that's what I do on an everyday basis, but I'm just going to go show you guys how I do my brows if I'm like going to a party or somewhere that I want them to look better than usual. So I'm going in with the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in Blonde. If you have blonde hair, definitely get this one. Don't get the taupe one, because I made that mistake. I was like, oh, I have really darker eyebrows than my hair. Yeah, don't do it. So you want to focus most of the product on the outside and then come in, because your brow is naturally darker out here than in here. What we're going to do is we're going to brush this out. And then we're just going to go in. If you have like darker eyebrows, you can actually like go in with a line of it and like line this up and make them darker. If you have blonder eyebrows, I wouldn't necessarily do that. It does look not as natural in my opinion. So I just like to lightly just go in and fill them in rather than draw a line and then keep drawing them on. If you have darker eyebrows, I think that does look really good. But if you have lighter hair and lighter eyebrows, I would not recommend doing that. So then I'll just go in with the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel, because this keeps them in place. And you could just go in with the Maybelline one, That will add a little bit more color. But I'm just going to go in with this. Since we did sort of draw on our eyebrows, this will sort of give you more texture to your eyebrows again, so it doesn't look like they're drawn on. So then I'm just going to go ahead and do the other eyebrow real quick. So then I'm just going to go in with mascara. And my favorite one from the drugstore is this Maybelline Pumped Up Colossal. I have tried almost every single one of their mascaras and I love them all, but this one does top them. On the everyday, I don't usually curl my eyelashes. If I'm going somewhere nice or if I want to look nicer, I will curl them, but I don't usually do that. Now, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I kind of got a little bit of mascara right there. So all you gotta do is wait for that to dry. Wait for it to dry completely. If it's still wet, it'll smudge, but you can just go in with either a paper towel or if you have a Q-tip, that works really well as well. And you're just gonna wipe it off. Comes right off. Then this is a step that I never used to do. I never felt like I had to do it, but since I've been doing it, I feel like I always need to do it. And I always do it before I put my lipstick on. Some people like putting a lipstick on and then using this. For some reason, I just don't like my lipstick being on when I put on my setting spray. Also, if you have your you can put your mascara on after this if you want, but if you have your mascara on before, then just be careful that you don't have your eyelashes touch up here or down here, or you'll get the black spots there. So this is the Urban Decay De-Slick Setting Spray for oil control. So I'll just go all over my face with this, and I'll just start on this side. And then just wait for that to dry, and I'm kind of keep my eyes like half open so that I don't get my mascara anywhere. So since I just brushed my teeth and I have no more chapstick on, I'll just go back in with my baby lips. And then since I want to put lipstick on over top of this, I'm just going to take my finger and get any excess off. Excess, not access. And then this way, because if I have a lot of chapstick underneath my lipstick, it's not going to be as pigmented. But I also, my lips are really dry, so I don't want them to peel while I have my lipstick on. So I'm just going to go in with, which one do I want to go in with? I'm going to go in with this Tarte one. It's a lip cream. It's more like, I don't even know what color it is. Hold on. Cream Pour? That might be the name? I'm not sure. That's what it looks like. And then, I didn't know this. I was like, this is all the products I get, but it rolls up. I swear, when I first got this, I tried rolling it up and it didn't, but it does.